Welcome to World News by Halandzovskyi. If you value calm, clear, and balanced reporting on major global political developments, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Today, we explore a deepening political debate in the United States over Donald Trump's actions in Venezuela, Republican support, and efforts in Congress to rein in executive military authority. Since the U.S. military action that resulted in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, political divides in Washington have grown sharper. Many Republicans in Congress publicly backed Trump's bold foreign policy, including the decisive strike in Caracas and the new U.S. role in Venezuelan governance that followed. Recent polling shows that a strong majority of Republican voters approve of the military operation and support Trump's approach to Venezuela as asserting U.S. influence in the Western Hemisphere. Republican lawmakers argue that the Maduro regime was corrupt and repressive, and that decisive action was necessary to remove a long-standing authoritarian leader. They frame Trump's moves as a demonstration of American strength and a warning to hostile actors. This stance reflects a shift within the party toward a more assertive foreign policy approach that prioritizes strategic leverage over traditional restraint. However, not all Republicans agree. Some members caution against excessive executive power without clear congressional authorization, especially when actions involve prolonged presence or political control in another country. They recognize the need to support national security, but emphasize the importance of constitutional oversight, where Congress plays a central role in decisions about war and peace. This internal debate is indicative of a broader tension in U.S. politics: how to balance presidential authority with legislative checks, especially when military actions extend beyond limited strikes into potential long-term engagements. In response to the controversy, the U.S. Senate is preparing a vote on a resolution aimed at restricting the president's ability to undertake further military operations in Venezuela without explicit approval from Congress. This effort reflects bipartisan concern that the Trump administration may have acted without adequate legislative consultation. Supporters of the resolution, including some Republicans and many Democrats, argue that major military decisions should not be made unilaterally by the executive branch. They emphasize that the U.S. Constitution grants Congress the authority to declare war and that significant military commitments abroad require democratic oversight. Proponents say this debate is crucial to preserving the balance of powers and preventing unchecked foreign intervention. Opponents of the resolution maintain that Trump's actions fall within his national security authority and that immediate decisions were necessary to respond to urgent threats. They worry that requiring prior approval could slow responses to future crises and undermine the ability of the U.S. to act decisively. Even if the Senate approves the resolution, it must still pass the Republican-led House and overcome a likely presidential veto, a high constitutional hurdle. Still, the very fact that such a resolution is advancing signals deep unease among lawmakers about executive military power. The debate has grown broader public attention, with polls suggesting many Americans, including across party lines, believe Congress should have authorized the Venezuela operation. For critics, the lack of legislative approval is more than a procedural issue. It is a question of democratic legitimacy and accountability. This conflict between the White House and lawmakers reflects not only competing visions of U.S. foreign policy, but also a foundational constitutional challenge: how a democracy should balance urgent security action with the consent of its elected representatives. Thank you for watching this analysis on World News by Halandzovskyi. If you found this explanation clear and informative, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Independent reporting helps us understand not just events, but the political structures that shape how nations act. Stay informed and see you in the next update.